As many other civil wars, the French ones are provoked by personal beliefs. Everyone starts to deviate from the society, and slowly a strong country turns into a bunch of divisions and separated families. A main event which started the wars was the spread of Calvinism and religious division. Calvin concentrated on spreading the movement in large towns and gained most success among merchants, traders, and artisans. John Calvin reformed the church in Geneva and began to expand Protestantism, and by 1560 there were over 2,000 Protestant congregations in France. Aristocratic women converted both their husbands and sons. Another important event which triggered the wars was the death of Henry II, who died in a jousting tournament. The Guises were Catholic, whose enemies were Protestants called Bourbons. Guises' purpose was to remove the King of Paris, so they executed Conde. Both families raised their armies. However, 2 days before his death, on 27th of April, Francis II died. That's why Guy's power suddenly dropped and Catholicism became more vulnerable. Charles IX saw the opportunity and took the throne. He was the son of Catherine de' Medici, and she declared herself regent of France. Conde's death led to Charles' conclusion that the Guises had to be stopped, and a civil war erupted in 1562. The French Calvinists came to be called the Huguenots. From the beginning, they became defensive of their own rights and beliefs and fought to preserve what they already had and avoided annihilation. In 1563, Catherine de' Medici was responsible for the Duc de Guise assassination by a Protestant fanatic. This initiated a series of bloodbaths because people started strongly following their religious passions. Soon enough, the slaughter of the Huguenots began. The government was pulled apart between Huguenots and Guises who sought for help from different places. Huguenots imported Swiss and German mercenaries, and Guises, on the other hand, courted support from Spain. This led to St. Bartholomew's Day massacre. Catherine announced the marriage between her daughter Margaret and Henry of Navarre. The goal was to symbolize the unity between the crown of Huguenots, and it took place in 1572. St. Bartholomew was the apostle that Jesus described as a man without guile. As the Huguenots gathered to celebrate Henry's marriage, an unpleasant surprise was waiting for them. On August 1572, blood covered all streets in Paris and numerous people were pointlessly massacred. Throughout the following weeks, the violence spread from Paris to the countryside. This occurrence prolonged the wars. A whole new generation of Huguenots had emotionally been attached to the continuation of the warfare. Henry of Navarre came into his inheritance, and after 30 years of war, it was certain that a Huguenot could never rule France. Henry IV excommunicated the Pope, and he was forced to accept Catholic faith. Therefore, Catholicism spread all over France. Moreover, Henry strengthened his forces and was crowned in 1594. The bloody wars end with the Edict of Nantes, which limits the toleration towards the Huguenots. This happens on April 1598.